Hey everyone. In this video, we are on the ISMT worksheet, short for income statement, and we are going to use anchoring to model out a lemonade stand, first for Lily and also for Sati. First, we start with cups sold at 10 with a price point of $1 per cup sold. And then we have some assumptions here towards the right in column L, assumptions for Lily and also for Sati. So first thing we want to do, we want to calculate revenue. We're going to go to C5 here and do equals, arrow up to our cups sold, multiply by that $1, enter. That gives us our revenue. So now for cost of goods sold and for SG&A and our other expenses, we're going to assume the percentage of sales with our assumptions over here, and those assumptions obviously right here. So if we think about cost of goods sold, that's things like sugar, lemons, cups, so on. So we're going to do equals, up arrow to our revenue, then multiply it, and I'm going to right arrow up to our cost of goods sold percentage, which is 50%, and we want to anchor this cell so that when we copy it down, it stays fixed to this specific cell. But I want to anchor the column. So I'm going to hit F4 1, 2, 3 times so that there's a money sign just before the L. We can see it here and in the formula bar up here. Then hit enter. So now gross profit, we do equals, and of course is our revenue, and then minus our cost of goods sold, enter. And now, like I said before, our SG&A and our other is percentage of sales. So I'm going to do equals, back arrow up to the revenue, and then multiply by, of course, our SG&A percentage, 25%. I'm going to anchor the column by hitting F4 3 times, enter, and then same thing for other. Revenue, multiply, 10% in this case, anchor the column, enter. And that is our SG&A expense and our other expense. So moving on to our EBIT, we are going to do equals our gross profit here, and then minus our other two expenses here. Minus, enter. And that is our EBIT, our earnings before interest and taxes. And so now under EBIT, we'll see interest. For interest, it's going to be 0, enter. We have no debt. Lily's parents gave her some upfront cash, so she doesn't have to borrow anything. We're just going to put 0 there. And it's good practice, like above here, you see, to make it blue. When you have assumptions and you're hard coding, it's good to put it in blue just so when you look at a big model, you know what's directly typed in and what's not a formula or function. And if we see, if I do Control 1 to look at the formatting of this cell, I'm going to go to font. For color, we used a custom color. So if I click more colors here, this one here, custom, is 00255. That's our custom blue color. I'm just going to exit out of this. And I want to make sure that this formatting is applied to this whole row. If I highlight it, Control 1, and clearly it is. So I'm going to click OK. So aside from our interest being blue, we want to format these cells here to look like our other numbers in our model. We want to have 2 decimal places and a money sign. So to do that, we can also go to Control 1. And in the number category, we can choose currency. And for this currency, I want 2 decimal places here. And by clicking currency, we will get the money sign. So I'm going to click OK. And we'll see now, since I highlighted all of these, it will apply to the interest as we copy it over. So now taxes. Our taxes are going to be the EBIT minus the interest times our tax rate over here. And clearly our tax rates are very favorable. Our area must have decided to give kids a break, so the tax rate is only 5%. So again, we're going to do equals the EBIT minus interest. So because of that, we want to open up a parenthesis and then go up to EBIT minus interest, close parenthesis, multiply our 5% over here, and also again anchor it. So F4, 1, 2, 3 times for the column. And finally, for net income here, we're going to do equals our EBIT minus interest minus taxes. Enter. And this here is our net income, or Lily's net income for her lemonade stand in 2021 or year one, however you please. So now for the next part, we only have to do the first few, and then we're going to copy everything over to see how that works. So for cups sold for 2022, if we go here into D3, we're going to type equals and then left arrow to cups sold. And then we're going to multiply that by our growth rate over here of 7%. So to be able to multiply 10 here by 7% easily, instead of just arrowing over to this, I'm going to delete it. I'm going to open a parenthesis so then we can do 1 plus our growth rate here, and again anchored the column, close parentheses. So that'll be this will make it 10 times 1.07. Enter. 11 cups sold. So again, now in year 2, people know that Lily's lemonade is good, so we're going to have a little bit of a price increase. And we're going to sell that lemonade for a little bit more than $1 like she did in year 1. So to do that, we're going to do the same thing we did for cups sold here. I'm going to do equals, left arrow to $1, multiply it by opening a parenthesis, do 1 plus our price increase growth rate here. And again, anchor, so we lock in that cell, lock in the column, close parentheses, hit enter. So now she sold 11 cups in year 2 at $1.02. And that is all we really need to do, because now we have set everything up already. So now if we go into cell D5, here you'll see it's gonna be the same formula that we did revenue here, and the same thing for cost of goods sold. Therefore, if we are to do shift control down arrow here in these cells where all of our formulas were that we did before, and then I'm going to press shift and then right arrow once, I can do control R to copy over, and you'll see all the formulas are copied over, but they're using the data that we just calculated up here instead of using the data from year 1. Everything copied over correctly because we locked in the column here. And now I can go ahead and do, I'm going to go into D3 here at the 11, do shift, control, down arrow, and then I'm going to let go of control, press shift, and do right arrow to 2026, and again, I can do control R, and you'll see, there we go. The growth rates copied over, and all the revenue, cost of goods sold, gross profit, SG&A, EBIT, net income, everything copied over accordingly. Okay, so now let's do Sati's. And all we got to do now is copy all the numbers from up here and then update our assumptions. So if I go into C3 here, shift control right, while still holding shift control down arrow, I highlighted our whole model here and do control C. I'm going to go here to paste this in there. But let's say that Sati worked harder and longer, so she sold, let's say, 200 cups in year 1. If I hit enter, we'll see that everything updates automatically because we changed the hard-coded data that we added here at the top of our model. But we can make more assumptions. Let's assume that she achieved some economies of scale and her cost of goods sold over here instead of 50, let's say they were 40%. If I hit enter, we'll see that everything here that had the cost of goods sold percentage attached to it updated instantly, and only for Sati, not for Lily. And that is because we anchored the column when doing the calculations, the formulas for Lily. Since we anchored the column, the formulas down here are registering our assumptions here instead of up top when we copied everything down. And So again, let's say she was aggressive with neighborhood advertising. So her SG&A, let's say it was 28% instead of 25. Enter, and there we go. Everything else linked to SG&A, updated instantly. Good work, Lily and Sati. We'll see you in the next video.